A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. My name is Mitch Nellis. It's not 6 a.m., thank goodness, which I've done the past couple days, which Tommy did today. But today it is high noon and the band is back together. What's up, Mason Crosby?
Feels good. Feels good to have everybody back. We're all off of injured reserve. Just doing our thing. So this is how it should be. This is how we should always have our lineup. But I was a little distracted there because I was just I was looking over my picks for later. Just trying to get my mind right. I didn't have a chance to talk to the kids, so I'm pretty worried. They made all my picks for me last week, and I went 4-2. So I might be in trouble this week.
I missed last week's standings. How did I do, Tommy?
You and Mason were tied for the top.
I thought I had done pretty well because I got my solo pick right?
We all had a pretty good week, I think. It was 4-2, 4-2, 3-3.
All right, we'll take it.
Yeah,
we'll take it. Yeah,
not bad. Not
bad. It is Thursday, November 13th. Matt LaFleur spoke yesterday afternoon. He spoke just about an hour ago. We'll get into what he had to talk about. The Bucs without Giannis, a bit of a lackluster effort last night in Charlotte. But they're just playing possum because they host the Hornets tomorrow night at Fiserv in a cup game. Yeah. So they were just really, they didn't want to show them anything because they want to blow them off the court tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm glad it's finally understood in this great state of Wisconsin in the basketball world that the only thing that matters is the NBA Cup. Once that's over, it doesn't nothing else matters.
The MLB awards are being given out. We did talk about Pat Murphy over the past couple days. We'll give our take on
congrats.
that. Yep. Paul Skeens unanimously won the Cy Young in the National League. Freddie Peralta finishes 5th. We'll get to our weekly picks for next week. And we've got a full show. We've got a lot to do. We're off and running. Mason, you and I haven't really had a chance to catch up fully post the Monday night game and do you blame Jordan Love? Do you blame Matt LaFleur? Do you blame everybody? Do you blame someone else? And so before we get to some of LaFleur's comments, I just kind of wanted to get a reset on how you're feeling now on Thursday, a couple days removed from that ugly Monday night loss by the Packers.
That is crazy. Yeah, at this point, I feel like we've been doing this now for over a year. It's like I felt like you were just right there with me, even though you weren't on the show there on Tuesday. But yeah, now that you say it, I'm like, I haven't talked to you all week. You've been working in other spaces, so yeah, I look at it and I've been just like watching all this the breakdown, everyone throwing out stats and doing all that. I love like old Coach Mike McCarthy. His line was always stats for losers, and then he'd read off stats. So it's kind of nice. That was always, I think that was Aaron's favorite thing of Coach McCarthy. He'd come into a team meeting and he's like, yeah, stats are for losers. We didn't have these good numbers. We're this and that. And then he's like, but here are the stats from the game.
So when they served him, he used them. But if they didn't serve him, they were
and I think that's a coach thing. That's a coach thing.
For sure.
From what I'm seeing, though, it's from night and day from what they did to dismantle those first two teams, the Lions and the Commanders. Now they've just gone away from it, and there has to be a reason for that. And everybody, all the the pundits, everybody looking at it, and from my perspective, and we talk about here on the Mason Crosby Show, is the offensive line is the big underlying issue where you don't trust Jordan Love to step back there, have time, do his thing, be protected. Teams are rushing at a high level. They're going to bring guys because they want to stop the run, get pressure on Jordan Love, and then they're playing this two-shell coverage, right? So they have literally found unfortunately, one of the more simple ways to stop this offense from being effective in scoring points. And that stinks. It looks like it's like one of the highest run rates with the lowest run per average, yard per average of run,
which does not feel good.
So it just feels very scattered and lost. I didn't like Jordan Love's comments of like, we're close. I never like we're close. Like it's either not good enough or you're getting the job done. Yeah. That's kind of like, that's the space that I like to live in.
There is no try, Mitch Nellis.
That's right. Do or do not. There's no try. As Yoda, as a very smart 900-year-old Yoda once told us.
Oh,
right?
Yes, of course. Well, you brought up the offensive line and Matt LaFleur at his presser today. That was a very big topic of discussion. This first question, I believe it was the second question actually of the day, talked about Adam Stenavich and his involvement with the offensive line.
Have you thought about having Stenavich work more hands-on with the offensive line?
I mean, that's what he does that every day. He's in there all the time. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's absolutely with those guys quite a bit. So, yeah, I mean, we'll probably continue with that.
I'll make sure the next ones are all good after that. But
who
you could
asked
make
that
it
question?
Out. It was Bill Huber asking the question on there.
I love Bill Huber, but that's just that's a weird question. I mean, every offensive line is in, like, they literally go in offensive line meetings and make sure they're the first ones more often than not. Them and the quarterback know exactly what the plan is, what the expectation is, how they want to get it done. So, and Stenavich is a former offensive lineman, so he's probably in that room as much as any other coordinator in the league. So it's a weird question to ask, and LaFleur always, whenever he doesn't like he's so
he is salty when he does not like a question.
He's so bad when he doesn't like the question. It's just like it's like his feelings are hurt at that question. And it's just interesting. I think it's not that they're not in there. It's not that they don't know what to do. It's more it's just like how they had it set up. I mean, with Elton Jenkins at center and Aaron Banks being hurt, guys moving around, Jordan Morgan having to play a lot. It didn't feel very cohesive, and that's a bigger issue. And you can't solve that in a meeting room all the time. Like, that has to be done on the field with practice reps, demanding greatness every time you take a rep on the football field.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to bring up. And I wonder, when Bill asked that question, Mace, I agree. Like, he should know, and we should know kind of how that, that the offensive linemen are all that. But I think fans honestly are concerned about that. Like what is the disconnect with the offensive line this year? And I think that question could have been asked better by Bill about why hasn't the offensive line we know Adam takes the time with the offensive line. We know you take the time with the offensive line. We know they're all really good players. What hasn't gelled in the way you thought it would, with moving Elton to center and bringing in Banks, and what hasn't worked that you thought would, and then what steps are you taking now to make things better, still with half a season left? Yeah,
I mean, I think you hit it right. The first name is Elton Jenkins. Moving Elton Jenkins to center, just because you didn't want to give Myers $3 million or whatever the number was going to be, to stay at the Packers. Didn't think he was going to be, your future at that center position. So you move in a Pro Bowl, All-Pro guard to center, who had, filled in and done some okay moments in games. But now whenever teams see what he is, his head down on the snap, on the shotgun snaps, he's not the best at making the adjustments and calls, I would think, at that position. I love Elgie to death, but I remember times in that in that offensive line room, especially whenever he was there with some of those veterans, Bakhtiari and those guys, Corey Lindsley. It's just come along, but just do what I tell you to do. And you're an amazing player, amazing athlete, but I don't think he could control that offensive line. And again, the second I saw that, whenever he started looking back to snap the shotgun snaps, I'm like, oh my gosh, And crazy. What did Carolina do? What did these teams do? They start mug blitzing and they start moving guys on where they're going to blitz. So he makes a call, this guy, and then that guy bails and another guy comes. Like that is a disaster. And it started showing up. So I think moving Elton Jenkins to center was just a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And sadly, and I hate it, like he's hurt now.
Should they have seen
that? I don't know who was
3-4
evaluating. I just don't know who. Like I don't know I didn't know what the mindset was when they said they were going to do it in the offseason, and Elton and Jenkins wasn't there for a lot of those times. So it was a confusing thing from the start. And sadly now he's injured, might not play another down this season. So we're going to see what it looks like with Sean Ryan in there, who I believe should have probably been at center to start this whole thing out.
Well, I also think that the assumption that the move would have been a little bit easier on Elton Jenkins wasn't unjust for Matt LaFleur. He came out as a center, right? I mean, like that's what he was coming in to the NFL as, and it's what he played in college. Not necessarily, they knew he was going to transition to guard rather, but he did play center. And if his brain is what we think it is and how productive he was at the guard position, to think that, hey, maybe we could just get one of the best centers in the league if they move him over. Like, why is that transition so much harder at the NFL level then?
You have a lot more, like your job demands a lot more at the center position in the NFL than it does in college. In college, I mean, you watch these offensive schemes, it's like obviously sign stealing and things like that. It's like you're literally calling plays. There's not a lot of adjustment. They're not as creative on defense. They're not going to game plan you like every part of your offensive front. So like Elton Jenkins' job got like so much bigger. And he had been like, okay, you don't play something, do something for 4 years for the most part, right? And then it's like, all right, like get back in there. It's like riding a bike. You're going to be fine. It's not. It's completely different. You get on an island. You have to make all the calls, all the adjustments. It becomes like you are an attachment of that quarterback in there. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he was buddies. I guess a guy who lives in town. He was Phillip Rivers, center at North Carolina State, and he was saying like Phillip Rivers literally would call all of the adjustments. He was like, it was the easiest job I've ever had, but that was because Phillip Rivers made all of the adjustments.
He
in
knew
the
what
calls.
he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So. So that's interesting.
And I think the other issue here, because Tommy, I agree with you. Like during the offseason and moving out into center, like seemed like it made sense, right? You're putting everybody at their strengths. He's going to make it work. But I think at some point, whether it was week 4 or week 5 or week 3 or week whatever, when it clearly wasn't working. Week after week, we're talking. Now, the first 2 weeks were different. Like Detroit and Washington come out with a bang. Everything's right. I didn't watch the L-22. I didn't watch the film. I don't know how Elton was playing in those 2 games. But soon after week 4 and week 5, it was pretty apparent Elton wasn't the right fit. And I think, Mason, to your point, like who's watching that? Like, whose job is that? Is it LaFleur? Is it Stenovich?
Well, again, where is Stenovich? Where is like the coordinator in this situation saying like, all right, we tried this out. This group of linemen, how they're set up is just not, we're not getting it done. We don't feel comfortable. Let's try something different. Like, I guess I get all hung up on like, why is that not the option, right? Elton Jenkins, again, let me make this perfectly clear. An amazing offensive lineman and honestly a really good center, but I just think it's the chemistry and the mesh of where they are. Like they had the opportunity with Corey Linsley, like going somewhere else. Why didn't they move Elton Jenkins to center then instead of drafting Josh Myers and playing him as a rookie and like getting him out there early? Like if that was, it's like, all right, the plan's Elton's going to move to center as soon as Corey Linsley's not here, or as soon as we need him. Why didn't they do it then? Like, I mean, the guy has played so much at that guard that you just can't do that. And so I think the cohesiveness of that line just has not been good. And that is causing problems. And it's so different. I think Elton Jenkins at guard, this run game is a completely different animal as well, just because of how, what he's able to do at that position.
You bring up the run game, and Matt LaFleur spoke on it. We got a little tip from our guy Mikey Henninger on Twitter yesterday talking about how this could be a big week for Josh Jacobs. Well, Matt LaFleur was asked on how to get the run game going this week.
Well, I think every week's an opportunity, but ultimately it's going to come down to our ability to execute. I mean, that's a very good front. I think you've seen that. They've gotten out of position at times, and that's always the goal for an offense is you want to try to find a way to cut the defense, get a guy out of the gap, and that's usually when those gashes tend to happen. So, but every week's a new challenge, and they've done a pretty good job at times with their run defense as well. So we just got to try to get them out of a gap somehow, some way, and then hit the right gap.
I mean, that just sounds like terrible body language and out of Matt LaFleur there. But regardless of that, when asked about team morale, he had nothing but good things to say.
The mindset's been positive within the locker room. And the challenge is just, can you bring that same positivity to the practice field and to every meeting and just try to keep morale as high as possible.
Mason, in 2010, how'd you guys get out of it? How'd you get out of the funk?
Out of the funk. Oh man. Yeah. Cause I mean, as we're looking at it, you got Tucker Kraft, you got injuries kind of piling up. You got different people playing in, different role. I mean, you have Bo Melton playing wide receiver last week. So it's like that was a very familiar thing in that 2010 season. And it is just literally plodding along, like hang your hat on the things you did really well. We had a good defense and we did run the ball really well in 2010. Like Aaron Rodgers was not quite Aaron Rodgers in 2010 until maybe like the last 4 or 5 games, he started kind of taking that next step. So with a grant, like we look at this season, they're 9 games in, right? Like, okay, let's take a breath and let's say they can get something going here. Like it's not over. They can figure it out. These other teams that have come in here, Carolina, like whenever we went to the Browns, like those teams figured it out for 1 week. If the Packers can figure it out 1 week and then stack that and just keep stacking it. I mean, that's all I remember from that 2010 season was just literally waking up after a game, going back into the locker room, back to work, doing your routine, and not even like considering that losing another game in those last 6 games was even an option. It was just
I love that
plotting
mindset.
along, plugging along. And so as long as that mindset's there, whatever happens is going to happen. You have to have that mindset. You have to show up every day, put in the work, and do all the little things. So I think with LaFleur, it's just go back into those little things, dive into the basics of what you do well, and then just unleash it on them. I would love to see this offense run tempo, like against a team that is out of position. If he says they're out of position a lot, get up to the line quick. Don't let them sub. Let them make adjustments. You have 2 plays at any given time ready in the hopper, and then let Jordan Love just decide what he's running at the line of scrimmage. Like for me, that's how I would start this game off, really try to attack this New York Giants team.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy works here as well. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line is 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. How do you want to see the Packers approach this game against the Giants? Do you want to wake up and get out of bed and just think that the option to lose a game doesn't exist? Like Mason did in 2010? Do you want to give more autonomy to Jordan Love to make the plays, to call the plays, to read the defense at the line of scrimmage? Do you not trust him to do that? And do you worry that that could be a recipe for disaster? Because I think there are people on both sides of that aisle, Mason. Like, I think a lot of people are like, just let Jordan Love cook. Dan Orlovsky said that. A lot of people have said that. But then there's a lot of people who are like, well, I'm not sure he knows how to cook. I'm sure he knows how to follow instructions.
And that is the dilemma, right? Like, but he's a $55 million a year man. Like, let him go. Like at this point with LaFleur, like what the season is, like how it's kind of going at this moment, 2 losses in a row, like let him go. Just like cut him loose. If it doesn't happen, like Molly this morning, it was funny. She was like, oh man, she was playing tennis and she she always calls me with funny things like, oh man, I just kind of finally realized how much pressure you might have been under playing, in the NFL. And I was like, playing tennis with like, other 30 and 40-year-olds, like that made you realize. But we had a good laugh at that. But she was just like, yeah, I started serving, and I was like, I had missed a few serves, and I was like, might as well hit it hard. And if I miss, I'm gonna miss anyway. Like I'm gonna miss hitting it soft, so might as well go all out. And I'm like, yes, that is the mindset. Just if you're gonna do it, go all in. And if you fall short, then you fell short, giving it everything you have. I do not want this Packers team to end this season and be like, I wish we would have done more of this. I think a lot of fans are getting weary and like tired of those comments. Like, I wish we had done this, or I wish we had done that. Empty the tank every game, every moment. Stop with the I wish I would have, I could have done something different.
Absolutely great points there. And thank you, Molly Crosby, for bringing it on the tennis court.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, as we would expect her to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Camille Davis is going to join us coming up next. She's part of Locked on Bucks podcast and Pack-A-Day podcast. So we'll continue this Packers conversation with her, but we'll also talk about the Bucks lost last night in Charlotte, hosting the Hornets again tomorrow night, and then hosting the Lakers Saturday night here in Milwaukee. So a back-to-back coming up.
Good to see Bronny, huh?
Well, maybe. Oh, little Bronny, yes. It'll be great to see little Bronny, yeah. Can't wait. I think Luca's the one.
Yeah. Oh, it's Bronny's team?
That's right.
We want Bronny, man. If the crowd got that chant going.
Dude, I need Bronny to guard Thanasis in
Yes.
this game. I need it.
As long as he calls him Unc.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Camille Davis, we'll run that idea by her coming up as well. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. My name is Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. Mason Crosby is in his house. What up, Mace? What's going on? How's your day? What was your number one highlight from yesterday?
From yesterday? Yeah, what did I do yesterday?
What did you human?
It's the weather got nice yesterday, so I went and hit some golf balls.
Say
you
less.
Know me.
You didn't even
I'm out there on the golf course.
The second you said the weather got nice, we knew exactly what the answer was.
Yep.
All right. Well, joining us now on the Mason Crosby Show on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. She's one of our best friends, Camille Davis, in the house. What's up, Camille?
Man, what's up, guys? I'm doing good today. I'm doing good.
How's it been? It's been a while since y'all have been on the show together.
It's true.
I know. It's been going good. It's been busy, Bucks and Packers playing at the same time. It's a lot to keep an eye on. So I've been busy, but enjoying what I've seen for the most part, except for like the last couple of weeks with the Packers.
You said it. You said it. So we're going to go there. Yeah. We'll start with the Packers and we'll talk a little Bucks and what's going on there. We were talking how excited we were that Bronny was coming to town here, in a couple games. So we'll have to dive into that. But yeah, let's talk about your thoughts on this. Obviously so many storylines. Everybody becomes an offensive coordinator whenever you only score 7 points in a game and you get beat the last 2 weeks. Everybody knows how to draw plays. Everybody knows how to do that. What are you seeing from this Green Bay Packers team? Just from your perspective, and what's your take?
Yeah, just a team that doesn't seem to be operating at a capacity that we know that they're capable of doing. And I think that's the biggest disappointing part of the last few weeks for the team, because we have seen this defense can perform at a Super Bowl caliber with what they're able to do, the stops they're able to get, holding teams to 16 or under, in all of the losses that the Packers have had so far this year. But the offense has just been in the mud. And it's not like one thing to point to of like, hey, if you can just fix this piece, you're smooth sailing. Like, it feels like the offensive line has questions right now. You've had the injuries affecting how this offense is going to run and what's going to come of that. You've seen defenses playing this Packers offense with that too high shell and being like, hey, we saw this work in the past. Even defenses that aren't that great, like the Panthers, were able to execute this scheme. And you're just like, okay, they're taking some of the win out of the sails for the Packers. Some of the play calling from Matt LaFleur has been questionable. Some of the decision-making from Jordan Love has been like, Jordan, you didn't see that one down the field this time. All right, I get it, because you're under pressure right now. So it's just been so many different areas for this team on offense that have just been lackluster and disappointing. And Packers fans aren't used to pointing to the offense and being like, this is the problem right now. And I think that's part of why it feels so weird.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about this the other day where it's, this Packer fan base has been spoiled for a long period of time, right? So it's like a couple losses in a row, especially at home, and it kind of shakes you to the core and you start kind of questioning a lot of things. The big thing I question on offense, and I want to hear your take on this, is, when you look at it by the numbers, especially from those first few games, the game in Dallas, like their numbers aren't bad, right? It's like they're kind of top 10 in a lot of categories. But I think the biggest issue for me are the self-inflicted wounds, on third downs or critical situations where that comes from a preparation standpoint and like just being in those moments and being able to execute whenever it's the tightest of the tight and the toughest moments. What do you think about that? And like kind of what have you seen in that space with the discipline of this team?
It hasn't been good enough. It has not been good enough. And earlier in the season, you kind of can be like, you know what? It's October. We got time. It's September. We still got time to kind of figure things out. The season's young. We can expect some changes to be made. But when you're seeing the same self-inflicted thing still occurring and it's getting to middle of November, that's when it starts to be like, okay, it was frustrating then, but now it's at a point where it feels it's unacceptable to still be at this point, especially with the goals that this team hits. It's not like it's the Saints, where, in no disrespect to New Orleans Saints or anything like that, but that's a team that came into the season not expected to compete for a championship. It was like, okay, they're kind of rebuilding and figuring things out. This season's going to be what it is. You take what it is from that. This isn't even the Packers from 2 years ago when it was Jordan Love's first season starting, of like, we don't really know what to expect. They're young, yes, but they have playing time under their belts. And it feels like you should not still be making these pre-snap mistakes in particular at this point in the season. So it's disappointing because when you pair that in with what we mentioned already about the offense, and then you have like a kicker controversy kind of brewing in the background too, where you got a team with 2 kickers on the roster, the only team in the NFL with 2 kickers currently on the roster.
Well, technically they have 3, right? Because they have 2 active and 1 on practice squad. It's like,
what are we doing?
And Bo Melton if they need him too.
And Bo Melton, if you need him. I know. It is kind of wild. And, Camille, I always love your takes and Packers and Bucks. And so I'm just going to kind of keep throwing out some thoughts. And I was thinking about this on my day off yesterday, where what if just say hypothetically, the head coach of this Packers team were a defensive-minded coach? Do you think, like, what would the rhetoric be there? Like, would it be like, oh, man, you need a new offensive coordinator? Like, this isn't going well. Like, what do you think that storyline would be? Because the defense is playing so well, like, you'd almost be like, all right, it's not the head coach's problem, but because the offense struggles, obviously goes directly to Matt LaFleur. And then it's not just his offense. It's now, what is he doing as a head coach?
I think that's a great question. Because if the tables were flipped and it was a defensive coach, you'd kind of be like, something has to be answered here. And I think one thing you hear a lot, because people always ask, like, what is the offensive coordinator doing? Especially when you have a head coach like Matt LaFleur, who's not defensive minded, but he's an offensive guy. So you're looking at it and you're like, this is supposed to be a strength. What's happening? And I think at this point, that's when questions really start to rile up. Like hearing Matt LaFleur in his presser and getting asked the question of like, hey, are you feeling like you're on a hot seat? Which I heard that a little bit earlier in the season. I was like, that feels a little premature to be warming up a seat at this point, given everything that he's done. And I still think Matt LaFleur is a great head coach. It's just that Matt LaFleur has to tap back into some old Matt LaFleur bag work rather than what he's been doing now, because you're not paying Jordan Love, $55 million a year to really be a game manager. Like, he has shown this season in particular, like, if you let Jordan sling it, like, you're going to get some results. Again, I know he has like the interception thing people always want to talk about, but like this season, that hasn't really been a thing for Love. So I'd rather just see them kind of like let loose. Like at this point, 2 losses straight, you're heading into New York to play a Giants team that just fired their head coach. So they're going to have a little bit of that, the new coach bump. And it's a game that people are, again, expecting you to win. So it's like, this is a Packers team that I feel like has been chasing the expectations they set for themselves in the first 2 weeks, and they haven't been able to grab back at what they accomplished early on. So it's like you're chasing a ghost of yourself to a certain degree of like, can you get back here? Because we saw it could work. So now get back to it and do it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We have Camille Davis on the Mason Crosby Show, Locked on Bucks, Pack a Day podcast, at Camille Monet, if you want to find her on Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it. And we're talking Packers right now. We'll dive into the Bucks, but yeah, I like a lot of what you said there. And I do think that, like, playing for Coach LaFleur, like, I enjoy, like, I thought he always had a good plan, and like our practices were crisp and fast and sharp. And so that football mind is there offensively for sure. I remember his early days coming in, and like the staff they put around him allowed him to, in a sense, learn more about defense and special teams and kind of like running that and being the head coach, not just being that offensive coordinator guru that was just, diving into everything. So you have to be careful, though, of seeing too much, right? And I think sometimes he tries to see too much, and then it's like, all right, well, I want to be creative on offense, got to make sure defense is doing all right, what's going on special teams, and you kind of get lost in that. So I totally agree with you. He needs to hone in what he does best. Let Jordan Love, who cares? If he throws an interception in a game, this defense is so good, like, let him go and cook, because it's like, why are we so worried that Jordan Love might throw an interception trying to make a play? Like, that is what you pay him to do, is like make those decisions on the field. So I totally agree with that. What do you think? What do you think they need to do this week? It is Thursday. It feels like this week's gone by really fast against this New York Giants team. I mean, I love Jameis Winston. I love everything he says. Jameis Winston. I know. So like that little bump with the new head coach, like, is there some concern going there to New York that this could be one of those games that is a little tighter than everyone's expecting it to be?
I'm not going to lie to you, Mason. As someone who's grown up watching the Packers, I have some New York Giants trauma from my Packer fandom of just things that have happened in the past where you're like, how in the world did we lose this game to the Giants? But anything can happen. And I think people always say like the any given Sunday phrase. And I think that it's super true, especially in today's NFL where there is a bit more parity. And while this is a bad New York Giants team on paper, they're without their starting quarterback, with Dart being out in concussion protocol, that defensive front is still really, really good. And we've seen the Packers have trouble with teams that can get pressure, especially if they only have to drop 4 to be able to get that pressure. So the Packers are going to have to be sharp. They're going into this game themselves with the reshuffled offensive line again. I think it's going to be important for the Packers to play with tempo. Get that tempo up, play with some speed and some pace there. In addition to that, just don't overlook your opponent. Don't look already to next week and be like, okay, man, we really got to get ready for what we have coming up next. Like, focus on this week, get a win, get back on the right side of things, and then continue to go. But I honestly would not be surprised if this was a game where you expect the Packers to blow a team out, but it's only a touchdown victory. It's a little bit closer than people would expect, and that would not surprise me at all.
I know going to New York always worries me. Obviously, it didn't go well, a couple years ago. And then I think it was my 2013 year. We were like rolling, really good team. I think we had like won a few games. Then we go out to New York and just got hammered. Like they crushed us, and they were a bad team. So weird things can happen in New York. We've had success out there as well. So I think it's one of those. Lean into the things that you do well. Find some identity this week, whether that's cutting Jordan Love loose, being a tempo offense, doing something that is uniquely like this is going to be our offensive identity the rest of the season going forward. I think they need to find that, and and maybe something will get going. They still have yet to play a complete game, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's even all the wins, it's like there were mistakes in all those games, but they found a way to win in some of those games early on. So I think we need to see this team just figure out a way, eliminate mistakes, be good in those crunch times. So I'm going to shift to the Bucs real quick. I know we don't have you for too much longer, but what do you think about this Bucs team right now? Obviously, they're gunning for the NBA Cup. They're going to probably try to go win that again because that's my favorite thing that goes on during the season. But what do you think of this team so far, in the early parts of the season?
I think they've been fun. And it's one of those things I think you understand when you're playing with expectations and how every loss feels and every win, and everyone has all of these wide sweeping conclusions they come to after every game when expectations are set really high. And I think for this Bucs team, there are expectations on this team because everyone's watching Giannis and what Giannis is going to do. And is he going to be happy? And what does next summer bring? And all of that stuff. But focusing on just this season, people aren't expecting much from the Milwaukee Bucks. And coming into the season, I say, hey, this is a team I think is going to finish top 6 in the East. I think they could win 47 to 48 wins again this season. And the team just makes a lot of sense. It's fun. They're young. They're playing a more modern style of basketball. Giannis is looking as dominant as he has ever looked. So every time I'm seeing these MVP conversations and people act like it's only a 2-man race between SGA and Jokic, I'm like, please look at what Giannis is doing in Milwaukee. Like, just keep an eye on the stats, and hopefully the wins continue to pile up. But it's been fun so far. Now, it's not a perfect team. There are weaknesses that they have. They've been poor on the glass when it comes to rebounding. I think they still need a bigger, sizable wing in this rotation, especially now Taurean Prince is out indefinitely. But ultimately, Bucks basketball has been fun. Ryan Rollins emerging, fun. Giannis, fun. Them running, fun. Like, it's a group you can really get behind this year, I think.
Get a rebound.
Get a rebound.
Get a rebound.
It's ridiculous.
Like, you're right. They're fun, but it's not fun when the other team is getting 49 offensive rebounds a possession.
If they get cooked by Ryan Kalkbrenner again, I'm going to lose it. All right? I'm going to lose it.
It's mostly you got to worry about. It's
right.
Yeah. Guy was Chamberlain in the 60s yesterday. It was ridiculous. Everything.
Well, Camille, we were saying that the Bucks were playing possum yesterday because they really care about the cup. So, like, they didn't want to show the Hornets anything yesterday because they got the Hornets coming to town tomorrow night. I know it's a little disappointing. I don't think LeBron's probably not going to play Saturday night in the Lakers one appearance. I'm kind of glad I sold my tickets like 2 weeks ago. Luka's still coming, though. Luka's still going to be here, so that's always fun. And I just think, like, I think you're right. Like, they're more fun but there's still something missing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's, I don't know what personnel, like, I don't think it's because Porter and Prince are both hurt. Like, I don't know that they are necessarily those missing pieces, but it still seems like whether it's like a defensive stopper or, not necessarily a rebounder, but like what Brook would do. Brook would box out so that other guys could rebound the ball. Miles doesn't seem to have that same rebounding presence, even though he's a better athlete than Brook is. There's just something a little bit missing. And by the way, if the season were to end today, Mason, the Bucks in the 7th seed would host the Magic in that 7-10 play-in game. Yep. So right. I know you're always watching that.
What are their power rankings?
Yeah, exactly. Is there something just a little amiss, Camille, that they that do you think they'll figure it out, or do you think they're going to run it with this squad and see what happens when Porter does come back?
Well, I think that there's a couple of guys in the rotation that you can expect more from. Gary Trent Jr. has gotten off to a slow start again this season. He did similarly last year as well. And I think that's part of why some of the numbers for the starting unit haven't been that great, just because Gary hasn't found his shot yet. I expect Gary Trent Jr.'s play to be better. The thing with the Bucks, again, when you're starting Ryan Rollins or Kevin Porter Jr., whichever one of those two guards, and then Gary Trent Jr. and then AJ Green, your small forward is 6'4", and it's just it's tough. It's a disadvantage. So that's been a problem for the Bucks that I think you're going to need to go outside of your roster to find help on that front. But internally, the rebounding aspect of it, like maybe it's just configurations for a certain degree, but they just don't seem to be good on the glass, and especially without Giannis in Charlotte the other night. So with Giannis back as assumed for the NBA Cup game, you hope some of that gets cleaned up a bit. But in addition to that, one thing this team talked a lot about is getting up a lot of threes. Like they're like, hey, we want to shoot a whole lot of threes this season. Last year, we were top in the league when it came to the percentage of threes we knocked down, but 18th in volume. We want to make sure we're a top 5 team in volume. They have not done that yet. And that's another area for this Bucks offense that has been really good. Number 1 offense in half court to this point. So they've been really good, but getting the threes up. And I think that's what also killed them against the Hornets, of just like the Hornets shot 10 more threes than you did. Now y'all made the same amount, but they did get them up at just a higher volume. When you're so good at knocking down threes, got to find opportunities to get more shots up. And you have guys who are dependent on others making shots for them. So like AJ Green struggled without Giannis in the lineup. He just didn't get enough shot attempts. Gary Trent struggled without Giannis, which I didn't expect. So like there are things like this is a roster that is built to maximize everyone else around Giannis. If ever Giannis is not in the lineup,
it's a good point.
Good luck in that particular game, because he does so much for this team.
Well, awesome. Camille Davis joining the Mason Crosby show. Really appreciate you, Camille. It was good to have you back. I feel like it's been a long time. I know you've been on the show a couple times when I wasn't around, but good to see you and good to talk to you again. Really appreciate your insight.
For sure, as well. I'm still waiting for that cookout invite, Mason. I'm waiting for it for next summer, whenever it's hot and maybe it's cold up here.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins will be most improved player in the league by then, and then Camille's coming to the cookout. That'll
yeah,
be
exactly.
Right.
That's the plan. That's
party in Nashville. Let's go. Yep. All right, Camille Davis, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. Camille Davis joining us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. We'll talk a little Freddie Peralta when we come back. Getting a good number of votes for Cy Young. Obviously, Paul Skeens, the unanimous decision there. More Packers talk in the 1 o'clock hour and our weekly picks. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
Yep.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz in the house as well. So, Mace.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to feel better about the Packers until we feel better about the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a 2-game losing streak, so until they play on Sunday, nothing feels good right now, right? It's just like we have to see it proven on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's right. One guy we felt really good about this baseball season was Freddie Peralta, who took the mound every fifth day, essentially. Yep. I mean, did not miss a start, was awesome. Was he tied for the league lead or had the league lead in wins? Yeah, which I know wins isn't exactly a pitching category. It depends on your team
anymore.
Right. And Paul Skeens had an ERA under 2. He was the unanimous winner of the Cy Young and deserved to be. But nice to see Freddie getting some votes.
Yeah.
That the question is going to be is that the last time we see Freddie in a Brewers uniform?
Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of wild to think, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a great contract this year.
Is this team going to be really different next year, or is it going to be?
No, it's going to be the exact same.
I think it's going to be the same, but there's just that outside.
So many young guys under contract.
Right? I think they're going to do the same thing with Freddie that they did with Willie. They're going to let him play out. They're going to give him a qualifying offer that they're not going to accept because he's going to get more money, and then they're going to get a pick at the end of the first round.
Yeah, I mean that seems like it. Unless
it seems really rational and what they do every time, Tommy. Maybe they'll do something different. Maybe it'll just get crazy over there.
If they are 41-41 at the near next year, they could trade him at that point.
You get rid of him.
If you're not making a run next year, see how you do, and then make that decision.
Right, and then you'll get some backup relief pitcher.
I know. All
right, so that'll be great.
Yeah,
they're going to be good next year. They're going to win it all next year.
Shout out Fred.
Yeah,
shout out to Fred.
All right, we're going to get more into some more Packers talk coming up when we come back. Mason Crosby's here. Tommy Wirtz is here. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Packers. Is it a must win?
Oh, gosh.
Is it a must win? Oh,
trap game.
Trap game. Is it a must win? Must win. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everybody. This is Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder, and the Mason Crosby Show is on your airwaves. The Wisconsin Sports Radio, of course, in Duluth, Superior, in Wausau, in Green Bay, and in Milwaukee, and on YouTube, and on Twitter, and on X, and wherever else Mason Crosby is illegally pirating the stream right now.
Gosh,
are you
Napster?
YouTube? Are you
right on Napster? Unbelievable. And why would you say that?
Now
I mean,
Friendster, it's on Friendster, it's on MySpace.
MySpace?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The LimeWire feed of this. Yeah, right. Just
if we
don't
only
download
could
that
stream
one.
on MySpace, then I think we have made it at this point.
Tommy's like, man, when we go Twitch, we've made it. We are for real.
I've been very anti.
You love Twitch.
Oh, yeah. God, I'm going to get myself in trouble if I talk about this anymore.
Yeah, don't say it out loud. Don't say anything out loud.
Yeah.
Again, our thanks for Camille Davis joining the last hour. If you missed that or if you missed anything here on the Mason Crosby Show, you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts. So if you're Apple, if you're Spotify, if you're iHeart, if you're Odyssey, if you're, I don't know, Spreaker or Podbean or like whatever those weird background noise places are, we're all over the place. Just search the Mason Crosby Show and you can listen to a segment, you can listen to an hour, you can listen to the whole show. Just search Mason Crosby Show. And Mason, as we look at the second hour, we'll get to our picks later on. But I know that Tommy and Sparky, Tommy's been on every show this week.
Yeah, Tommy's and next
crazy.
week. He's going to be, he's starting the week off next week, just taking everybody's show from him.
Yeah.
So,
are you taking off 3 weeks for Thanksgiving, by the way? Is that what's happening?
3 weeks.
I just looked at the November schedule.
That was like,
Mason off, Mason off, Mason off.
Well,
I miss you already.
Laugh I've ever seen from you.
Well, I'm going to, that we're going to Colorado for the Colorado Athletic Hall of Fame deal.
Nice.
And then
who are the Buffalo playing that weekend?
Arizona State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be tough. And then we're going to actually, then we're going to Cancun for my niece is a medical missionary down there. So we go visit her and go see what she's doing. And then
are the kids going?
2 kids, the oldest two.
All right, that makes sense.
We're going to take them and just get them to experience some of that.
Divide and conquer.
We'll have some beach fun, and then and then we'll go to Texas for Thanksgiving, and then we're actually going to go watch the Colorado play Kansas State in Manhattan.
Are you being?
And then I'm going to be in Wisconsin.
Are you going to be hosted by the Nelsons?
The Nelsons are hosting. Oh, yes, they are hosting us.
All right.
I know. What's the etiquette? I mean, there's just neutral colors. Should I just wear neutral colors?
No. You got to wear your.
Like in their suite though.
No.
I mean,
oh
my God, you wear
Buffalo. You wear your colors.
I don't know.
100%.
You can't wear purple.
No, I'm not wearing purple.
All right, I'm just making sure, man.
I'll probably wear like white and black. I'll wear like the color scheme, but with maybe not a lot of the
little gold piping.
He's gonna wear a blazer, isn't he?
A blazer. That's my style. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's what you wear when you go to a soccer match.
I did wear a blazer. Yes, I know.
Exactly.
I look sharp too.
Ooh, that's what you should wear your Nashville SC shirt. That's like Colorado Buffalo's colors, isn't it?
It's navy. No.
Oh, it's navy.
Sorry, it looks black.
The black one, yes. They do have like the Johnny Cash all black one.
Right. Yeah. Wear that one. Don't you have your custom name on that one?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll wear the jersey with my name on it. That'd be nice. I'll wear my University of Colorado, my Buffs jersey,
number
16 with the Crosby on the back. Yeah, just to make sure.
All right. Sorry, I forgot that.
I would do that. Yeah, I think you should. I think just getting
every time I see Jordy, and obviously like we talk about because I kicked a game winner against Kansas State.
No big deal.
What was that? My junior year, I believe.
You have so many, I forget.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But Jordy's so salty about it because we hurt the punt returner. He fumbled the ball, and we got it back. And he's like, it was an illegal hit. It was bad. You know, it was cheap. It was all day. I was like, the guy
was it worse than Keyshawn Nixon last year?
No, I'm like, I hate that he got hurt, but it wasn't a cheap shot. Like he kind of, he caught the ball and like tried to make a move and got hit and fumbled the ball.
You should wear a Jordy Nelson jersey.
Football.
Yeah,
that's what you should
that'd
wear.
be nice.
You wear an 87
Packers. Packers,
and just be like, no, I'm not.
What was he in college? He was.
We'd have to look that up.
I got this. This is
he was not 87. He was 27.
Oh, really?
27 in college.
Interesting.
Yeah.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line at 414-677-1250. 218 writes in to the talk line. One name symbolizes what can happen against the Giants. Tommy DeVito a couple of years ago. That can't happen again. Mason?
Yeah, Jameis Winston's gonna hopefully he's not the Tommy DeVito of this Giants team. And again, Kafka, he's been calling plays, right?
Yeah.
So he is their play caller. So they're not losing that piece of the puzzle. They're just losing kind of the head coach, the CEO of running the operation there. So they're not gonna feel and look all that different, just without having Dayball, there at the helm. So
I still can't believe you lost in London, man. What?
All right, let's run down all the losses.
Giants losses.
I can't believe we lost in 2007 in the NFC Championship.
Right. Exactly. I can't believe that one either.
The 15-1 season hurts the most to me. That one,
the divisional
round. They came to Lambeau. That one, I felt it. I felt like I was out there.
I always call that the Atari Bigby game because it felt like we were playing 12 on 10. I think Atari Bigby was playing for the Giants.
Oh God!
Literally just letting he would hit somebody in the secondary and go like this and try to knock them down, and then they just keep running.
Little patty cake.
Yeah, a little patty cake.
And he was a thumper. He's a big guy. Wrap up a little bit, right?
He just decided not to on that day. 414 writes in, here's an idea. How about we go back to LaFleur's offense in 23 when Love was under center more? Who gives a beep about Jacobs liking running out of the shotgun? It's just not working.
Agreed.
Was that I think it was Dan Orlovsky did a little data point on under center percentages, and the top 5 teams are all playoff teams that go under center, and the bottom ones are run so much more out shotgun. They feel like they do a lot less under center. I know that was always Aaron saying, and that's why I call for tempo, right? It's whenever you get in that third and manageable, and it's all right, we're gonna try to press the line. You get under center. If they're trying to sub or they're doing you might get them to jump off sides. It just feels like it's just so predictable. Yeah. Obviously, it was predictable in that game whenever they're calling out what play you're going to run.
It's still unbelievable. That's still unbelievable. All right. So Tommy's been on every show you're
going somewhere with that. Yeah.
And one of the things that he and Sparky were talking about yesterday that I think they talked about before the show but never got into it. So Tommy's like, hey, how about we talk about this? And we were like, sure, it sounds like a good idea. Kind of looking at the Packers contracts, their current contracts, and who's earning their contract, who's underpaid and we're getting a deal from, and who is overpaid and that we're a little bit disappointed with. And I kind of want to just jump out and say obviously Banks and Hobbs we're disappointed with.
Just give their contracts to Quay Walker, right?
We're not happy. We're not
that
happy
would be cool. What if you
Hobbs.
could just trade out? It's hey, this contract's on the books. We just want to move it over to this player.
There needs to be a star system like there is in hockey, but with payouts if you are the 3-star, the 2-star, the 1-star of the game. Like a Dana White giving out a knockout bonus for the best knockout of the day type thing. Player of the game, you should be getting an extra 50 G's or something like that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But
the accounting of that could get a little tricky.
Do you take that away from someone else?
Within the team?
100%.
Oh, that would get crazy. It's like a pool where it's just out there and everybody has it and they have to play for it every week.
If Matt LaFleur was donating $50,000 out of his own paycheck, this team would be undefeated now. Every week.
It's coming from the ski hill.
They're
taking money from the ski hill.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Tommy, I know you have some contracts prepared for us.
Well, I was just talking about it. If you're talking about contracts you're disappointed in, I wanted to see a bigger number, and that cutoff was pretty easy for the Green Bay Packers. That number is going to be making $48 million. That is their combined contract value. There are 9 players on this Green Bay Packers team that make over $48 million from their current contract with the Green Bay Packers, starting from the bottom going to the top.
Now, and again, that's assuming they play out their whole contract.
Sure.
And, we're not messing with guaranteed versus not guaranteed and all that sort of stuff. We're just looking at the contract.
Josh Jacobs, Nate Hobbs, Xavier McKinney, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Banks, Zach Tom, Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons, Jordan Love. Those are the 9 contracts that are on the table here. And if we're talking about which one we're most disappointed in, you might have exposed it a little early, but Aaron Banks' contract on there, 4 years, $77 million. And everyone who is watching the Green Bay Packers can see not living up to his end of the deal, it feels like, Mason.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing right now is that the 2 major signings, other obviously Micah Parsons, coming in and doing his thing. I don't think anyone's going to be upset with that signing. But
No.
the two major signings in the offseason, Nate Hobbs, Aaron Banks, are underachieving for sure, right? Like their PFF grade, like just the amount of plays that they're getting. Like Nate Hobbs is hurt. Aaron Banks is hurt a lot. He's not playing at a high level. You brought those guys in to shore up position groups, right? It was like Aaron Banks coming in to be that big run, like moving bodies, like being that stalwart on the offensive line while you're moving Elton Jenkins to center. So it's like, all right, give us a big guard that can help and be like kind of the anchor of that offensive line, not living up to that contract. Nate Hobbs, you're moving on from Jair. You got to have another corner. You got to have a veteran guy. Somebody step in there, bring the physicality, bring that energy, and Nate Hobbs is not doing his job.
Are we ready to start looking at the conversation of like Xavier McKinney or Josh Jacobs? Or are we
no,
like?
I think
no.
they're still within the realm of like, they're.
But
they're
that,
still
like last
earning
year
their
was
contracts.
awesome for both of them. Last year was awesome.
They're still fine. Yeah, I think they're still like without. I don't say without Josh Jacobs, this team, would be in a different spot. Like it's, they haven't been good, whenever in these last couple games for sure. But I think Josh Jacobs is a vocal and a leader in that locker room, and so is McKinney. I think those guys are key pieces to the locker room and to what they can do on the field. And I think Josh Jacobs is going to be a huge piece of this thing come winter, come December, whenever that weather really takes its toll there in Lambeau and other places. He's going to be a factor.
What if the offensive line still stinks then, Mason, though?
But you still have Josh Jacobs. Like you like, again, then that becomes creativity where it's like, if they want to stop Josh Jacobs, that line stink. Like you have to play off of that. Whenever they had success, they used Josh Jacobs to open up the rest of the field. It just has not been playing out that way, and I don't know what has happened. And it all comes from probably the play calling situation.
Well,
here's a question. I have one question and a player that came to mind. What do you think? Like, how do we feel about Keyshawn Nixon at this point? And like where his contract is, what's the expectation? I mean, I'm assuming he's been the starter now almost a year and a half. Is he going to get a big payday coming up?
Big payday, like sniffing this money? Do you want to pay?
He's going to want it. I think he's going to want that payday.
Should he be making more than Nate Hobbs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's what I think too, right? But should he be making more than Xavier McKinney?
No. I don't think so.
He's been pretty solid in what he's done.
He's going to make more than a safety, yes. I do think, yes.
Is it just because corners
make more than safeties?
All right,
yes.
all right, that's fair.
Is he going to make more than Aaron Banks? So McKinney is 67 million, Banks is 77 million.
No.
I mean, what is that number for starting top corners? They're getting 25.
I'll look right now at the highest paid corners in the league.
He's going to be, and knowing Keyshawn, I think he has another year too, though, on his contract.
So the highest paid corners right now, which I don't know if he's going to be anywhere near this category, but Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley, both making $30 million a year. J.C. Horn is the third highest paid corner, making $25 million a year, and Jalen Ramsey makes 24. Pat Surtain makes 24. So absolutely not.
Keyshawn Nixon's he's going to go seeking a $25 million.
No way. Yes, he's going to seek it. He ain't going to get it.
I bet he gets in that range, 20 to 25 million.
I see it more as a Trayvon Diggs, Marshawn Lattimore 19.4. Okay, that's where I see
20 million. Yeah. He's going to try to get that 25. He's going to be in that 20 to 25 million. Just because, he has been, he's been a starter and he's on a good defense. He breaks up passes. He's not like a turnover machine. Obviously he was there to pick up that fumble, but he's been available, which that was a knock on him whenever he first got to Green Bay. He wasn't available, all the time, but he's been available and I think he's playing at a pretty high level right now.
What about Quay Walker now? Because Quay Walker, looking at the top paid middle linebackers or linebackers in the league, you're looking at Fred Warner, Roquan Smith. Those are the only two making more than $20 million. Tremaine Edmonds and Zach Bond, who just got paid last year. Edmonds makes $18 million. Bond makes $17 million. Is Quay Walker going to be in that category?
Here's the thing is I think the Packers, after the season, how it normally works, before free agency starts, they will throw they'll probably throw a $15 million a year type offer at him. He'll probably wait and see if he can't get that on the open market. I would say if he doesn't take something from the Packers and goes and seeks it, and this happens a lot. This is what happened to why did I just draw a blank? He's like one of the key pieces in my field, like a tight end. What am I from the Cowboys game?
Jared Cook.
Jared Cook. What? Like, geez, mine fart there. Jared Cook was the Packers actually offered him more than what he ended up taking when he went to Oakland. But they said, this is our best and final offer. He was like, I think I can get more in free agency. His agent pushed for him to not take that deal. He goes, tests the market. It's not as good. They came back to the Packers, and the Packers said, we've moved on. We're not gonna give you that. That number doesn't stand anymore. And so you got to be careful when you're dealing with the Packers.
Expiration,
and you have to take it. So I hope they look in that $15 to $18 million range. And I think he'd be wise to take that. Like with this defense, he could be with him and Edgerrin Cooper. I mean, they can just be a dominant defense for 4 to 5 years here if those guys all stay together.
And fun to watch.
And then speaking of that, so I just saw Van Ness is practicing.
Yeah,
looks like he's gonna, it looks like he's gonna play this week.
That's huge.
Like initial
That's the rumor.
talks.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, what does that mean for this defense and this team? Are we as excited because it's a defensive player and it's like, they're fine on defense, or does he have that capability of coming in and allowing Micah Parsons to get after the quarterback at a higher rate and like do some more dynamic things to try to help this offense out? Because when he was on the field, this team was better. Like on both sides of the ball, like they were a better team whenever you had all those pieces on defense.
I think that second point was the bigger point. I think he's just better than what they've had on the field, and he makes the team better. I don't know that it necessarily means that Micah's going to get more shots at the quarterback. I don't know if it means that LVN gets to the quarterback more because they focus on Micah the way they do it, or if it means better for Rashawn Gary. However that plays out, I think it's a byproduct of he's just better than what they've had on the field, and he makes the defense better.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like I think his energy and like just his motor, the way that he goes is infectious across the locker room and on that field, no doubt.
All right, Mason, I need you to kick a 43-yarder right now. Could you make it? Like, let's go outside, stretch. You get 2 minutes.
Yes, I could kick a 43-yarder.
Done.
Okay,
amazing. That's a minute. Like, I just like in an NFL.
I couldn't.
NFL with like an NFL team rushing you.
I could kick one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could kick one.
All right, great. Yeah, done.
50?
Oh, come on. No.
Yes, I could hit it. Yes, I can hit
question.
it. I could hit a 50-yard field goal. Sure.
Okay.
But I mean, like to carry it through a whole game and a whole season. No, I'm not at that point right now.
A whole game, 150-yarder in the game, and you're tapped out.
That's fine.
Right
No,
there.
I'm saying just like to be able to carry throughout like that game on Monday night. I mean, I can't tell you how many games I played like that where I didn't kick a ball from like the first quarter and like a meaningful kick in the game until I had to go and kick a game winner or kick a big kick in the fourth.
Thanks
quarter.
for having me. Thanks for inviting me to dinner.
Those are tough. Like people don't understand how hard that is to just stay in the game and stay like mentally and physically ready to go out there and execute in that moment. Like no other position group has that kind of that lull in a game like a kicker does in those moments.
Field Goal Kicking Talk on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Paramount Plus. Streaming November 16th on Paramount Plus, it's the return of Landman. Mace, you watching Landman at all?
I love Landman.
Billy Bob Thornton, right?
So good.
He's pretty. It's kind of like are we allowed to talk about like what it's kind of like? And I don't know.
Well, you don't want to spoil it. Go watch it on Paramount Plus.
Well, it's is it Demi Moore or is it Demi Moore? Like
Demi Moore.
Demi. Like I thought it was Demi Moore.
It was Demi for a little while.
Yeah, she was Demi Moore for a little bit.
Now she's back to Demi Moore.
That was probably before Tommy was even born.
I know Demi Lovato. That's it.
Wow. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone. If you watch Yellowstone, both similar vibe,
and all their like spinoffs are great.
I haven't gotten into the spinoffs yet, but Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton is back, featuring Academy Award nominees Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, and Sam Elliott and his mustache.
Oh, I love
Landman, new season streaming November 16th in 3 days, only on Paramount Plus.
It's weird that it's Sam Elliott's. I think he's Billy Bob Thornton's dad, right?
That's weird.
Yeah, which is
aren't they like 10 years apart in age?
I don't think they're that. Yeah, I don't think they're that different
right.
in age.
I mean, he can play,
kind of looks like Billy Bob Thornton's dad.
Right.
Like
does.
it's not a bad cast.
No, but
the best.
Billy
ever.
Bob Thornton is 11 years younger than Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
You know what show I loved that Molly hated that I loved? The Ranch.
Oh,
with Ashton Kutcher and Sam Elliott. Oh my gosh.
I don't know The Ranch.
Oh, it's just it's so stupid. It's so stupid. But he
But
was
you
like,
loved it.
Ashton
Was it funny?
Kutcher was like a high school, like a stud quarterback. I think he maybe had dabbled in the NFL a little bit. Kind of fails at that, comes back home to the ranch, Sam Elliott's ranch, where they grew up. And then, he has to help him work and do all the stuff. And it's just like that debauchery. I mean, it's like basically that 70s show or any of those, like where it's just nonsensical stuff, but a little more raunchy.
Ashton Kutcher playing Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, it's just wrong. Yeah, but it's also
that's
over the
fair.
top.
All right, let's get to our weekly picks coming up. There's been a little movement in the Badger line. I'm excited to throw this one by Mason's way. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz is here. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by our very good friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Shock the world.
It's time for the boys' weekly picks. Hear who they think will win the big games this weekend. Just don't trust them. It's weekly picks with Mason Crosby, Mitch Nellis, and Tommy Wirtz.
Touchdown. This is the Mason Crosby Show. We're presented by Verizon. Mitch Nellis, Mason Crosby, Tommy Wirtz here, and it's time for our weekly picks segment. We always pick the NFC North games. We always pick the Badgers game. And then depending on what's left, we pick one or two other games. And then we always bring our own game to the table. I should probably start looking at some of the lines and figure out what I'm going to pick. Tommy, what do you got for us?
Yes, updating our standings. As I said, pretty good week for us last week. Mason and Mitch each going 4-2. I went 3-3. Our updated standings.
Thunder!
Mitch Nellis is 26-24. I am 25-25. Mason Crosby 23-27 with a chance to really bounce back after your
I thought that was prior to this week.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. I got to
relax. Dude. I got 2 games back this week.
Let me add them up, and then we'll
watch these guys.
I know. I got it. I got you here. Okay, I'll add it up. But while we're making our picks here, let's go. First game here. Let's go to college right away because Texas is at Georgia. I don't know if there's 2 bigger frauds going up against each other this week. They're just not going to win the national championship, I guess. That's why I say that. But
that makes them frauds.
Texas being the number 10 team in the country is just wrong. I mean, they're just not. There's no way. They're not that good. I'm taking Georgia. Go Dogs. -6.
Is it -6?
Yeah. Is the line.
I'm taking Georgia all day with that number. In Georgia, for sure.
Yes.
I just remember Pat McAfee singing that Go Georgia song. They were indoors. It was at the SEC championship game, was it? Georgia and Alabama, and he sings the whole Georgia song, and then he says "Roll Tide." What a troll! He is wearing sleeves today, by the way.
Nice.
I don't know if it's
is his show on sick. Whenever I turn this show on, it's never even the Letter Network. It's always him right there.
Listen, if I was
it's a full day work, 8 hours a day. Just get it done.
If I was the 4-letter network, I would just run him too.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Nothing else is good or worth watching.
Badgers at Indiana. 28.5.
It was 30.5, Mason. So there's a bunch of money coming in on the Badgers. I'll take Indiana. I think this one gets ugly. I know the Badgers look better. I know their defense is good. I don't think the Badgers will score in this game. This will be another, if they score 7, they might score 7. That's it. But Indiana will easily put up, 35-7 means they don't cover. Wow. I'm taking Indiana.
All right.
I'm taking the Badgers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking the Badgers. I was heavy on them at the 30.5. A little scared at 28.5, but I think they can hold them to only losing by 28. We'll be fine.
I think I would take the Hoosiers if the line was 40 in this game. So I'm going to take Indiana. No, I just think last week was their Super Bowl. They needed that win. That was great. It was in front of the Camp Randall people. Indiana is, they escaped their trap last week where they almost blew it against Penn State. And did you see the catch their wide receiver, Omar Brown, made? That's 100% going to happen to the Badgers.
Won't do it again.
This game.
Nope, won't do it again. I'm once in a lifetime.
Very doubtful. I'm going to take Indiana in this one.
All right.
Cool. Let's get to the NFL.
Cool.
And we'll talk. Let's go in the division. We'll go Bears at Vikings. Bears are obviously the better record, but the Vikings favored by 2.5 in Minnesota. Mr. Crosby.
Yeah, I've been stewing over this one. I've been just kind of racking my brain. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to take the Bears. I know a lot of I've been looking at everything. A lot of people are picking the Vikings to win this one and cover that. But I'm going to take the Bears in this one.
I'm with the Bears. I think the Bears do it again, and it's just gross. And but I learned my lesson last week by taking the Vikings against you guys. I should have been 5-1.
I don't know. Your camera's been all over.
I didn't do
this.
it.
No, I get it.
Got a red light on.
Okay. Well, I'll come fix it there.
I'll fix it.
All right. All you got to do is unplug it and plug it back in.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Could you explain to me more, please?
I just did.
He's producing you. Relax.
Yeah, just trying to produce. That's all I do. So anyway, what I'm thinking here with this one is that we almost want to root for the Vikings, right? Based on this scenario.
Sure.
So I think I'm going with the Vikings on this one. And then we'll get some parity in here too. I think
I'm just going for Bears to cover. I hope that the Vikings, kick a field goal and win by 2.
Yeah, exactly. So now next, Lions are at the Eagles for Sunday Night Football. Eagles are 2.5-point favorites in this one. I am going to go away from the favorite on this. I think the Eagles look like they have flaws. I'm going to take the Lions to beat Philadelphia outright, I think. And plus you get 2.5 points.
Yeah. I mean, you're basically picking the winner here. I will take the home team. I will take Philly.
Yep. I'm taking the Eagles in this one.
Wow.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Tommy's taking one on the chin this week.
Oh, just wait till my solo game here.
I looked up Yannick Sinner. He's not playing anything meaningful. I couldn't take him.
I mean,
it's like minus 400,000.
I just went first, but I can go first on our solo game this week.
Is this where we are? Did we get the solo?
We'll do solo, then the Packers.
Solo, then the Packers.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I would be a fraud.
Oh,
if
you don't have to.
I did not pick Trevor Lawrence, 3-point underdogs going up against Justin Herbert. Chargers are at the Jags.
This is your dream game.
This is what we radio for, people. Like right here. This is where takes go to fly or takes go to die. Right here. Chargers traveling across the country to a ruckus Jacksonville. You know, Mason, you played there. It was always Philly Jags fans whenever.
Yeah.
But
I tried to straight face it. I mean,
but
ruckus, but like with the away team. Like,
here's
it's hard
the positive.
for the Jags out
Here's
there.
the positive. No one's a Chargers fan.
Chargers don't have fans
they
either.
Have no
who's
fans.
Gonna be? Yeah,
That's
Packers
for sure.
fans might be down there just watching the game.
We are so in on Trevor Lawrence winning against Justin Herbert to prove that Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence are the same quarterback.
They're the same person.
Give me the Jags +3.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
You want me to go here, Mace?
Sure. Yeah,
all right.
go for it.
They are the hottest team in the NFL, playing against arguably the worst team in the NFL, and they are not favored by enough. The Baltimore Ravens, 7.5-point favorites at Cleveland. This smells like 40-3 to me. This smells like just absolute blowout city in Cleveland.
I know crush them last time.
Right. They crushed them last time. I know Dylan Gabriel's still learning, and we got a lot of faith in this kid, and that's great. But Baltimore's back. They're rolling. I'll take the Ravens minus that 7.5.
Didn't you say at some point, though, that 7.5 number is kind of a little baiter number?
It is. But I think in this one, it's they want to bait you into taking Cleveland, and you get that touchdown, and Baltimore wins by 37.
Yeah, if Lamar's in the game, they can put up 40 any day. It feels like.
Yeah.
Didn't he jump over like a standing player in the Minnesota game? Like I saw this picture of him like literally jumping over somebody standing straight up in the air, like standing straight up. It was crazy.
More impressive than the backwards hurdle from Saquon?
No, I don't think anything could be more impressive. Different. Yeah, it was still impressive.
All right.
I'm going to college. I'm going to college. I was looking at some lines, and I thought this one was fishy, and I don't know a lot about this game, so it's a bit of a stretch, but my solo games have been just so bad.
Amazing.
Since Yannick Sinner.
Yeah.
I curse myself taking such an easy one. Now I can't pick games. But I was looking at this game and I'm like, this makes no sense to me. Louisville versus Clemson. Louisville minus 2.5 at home against Clemson.
Yep.
They're 7-2. They're the 20th ranked team. I mean, I'm going to take that game all day long. Okay. So I'm taking Louisville to cover that. To win that game by more than 2.5 points. Yeah.
I think part of that, Mason, is that there's still a national belief that Clemson's really good, even though they're not.
Yeah.
But it's like people think like, oh, Clemson's good. This will be a close game.
They have a good go. They should be good.
And if Louisville does what they should do, they should be okay. Louisville.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Louisville.
Just for fun, the Thunder tonight, 43.
I like the Thunder. You know, it's going to be 38 degrees, but mostly clear, not a lot of wind. I know the Patriots being favored by 13 over anybody scares me because I know that they're 8-2, but I just don't feel like they're that good yet. But if the Jets only score when there's like fluke weird plays, right? Defensive touchdowns or fumbles on special teams. The Patriots this should be like a 24-3 game.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I think 28-7, something like that.
Right. So the under is safe. The Thunder should be pretty good tonight. Okay, I do like the Thunder.
The Thunder is 2-0 since adopting the Thunder. So just making sure. And then the Green Bay Packers, currently 7-point favorites, I believe, is the last we had it at. It is still at 7, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. All betting outs courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mitch Nellis, do you want to go first on the Packers -7 at the New York Giants?
I sure will. I have a final score as well. I think we do our final scores. Over under there 43. That's interesting. I'm going to go Packers 23-17, Giants to cover. With that 7-point spread, I think the Packers win this one by 6. Again, I think it's 23-17, which does mean 3 field goals from McManus. I think he gets back on track this week, finally. And I think the Packers figure this one out.
What's the weather look like?
I'm hoping this is like a 23-10 situation. Giants score with a couple minutes left to make it 23-17. Don't get the ball back. Packers win at 23-17.
Okay. All right. I can get behind that. I am going to go with the Packers to win and the Packers to cover. And guys, we haven't seen it in a while. The Packers are putting up 27 points this week. Guaranteed they're putting up 27. 27-10. The Packers win. Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdowns, I'm going to say. And probably a pick. I'll say Keyshawn gets his first pick.
Man, you're going deep dive.
Just throwing it all out there.
All right, it's going to be like nice temperature, clear skies, but I saw 15 to 25 mile an hour winds. There in Jersey is that's a different animal. That's not easy over there in that stadium. So this thing could be a little tighter than I was wanting to predict, but I'm going to take Packers. I'm going to take them, and I was thinking the same thing as Tommy, 27-14.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I got the Giants. You guys both got the Packers.
Yep.
We all have the Packers to win. I just think it's going to be closer than you guys. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair.
Updated standings, by the way. Mitch 29-26, Tommy 27-28, Mason 26-29. That is our standings going into
Clean that
week
up, Mace.
11. Week 11, right? Yeah, I believe that is it.
Whatever week it is.
Recapping our picks this week, a lot of parity, it feels like, in this one. We all agree that Georgia, not a high enough favorite against Texas. However, that is pretty much where we are, I think, other than that, right?
Wait, just a sec. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How am I 26-29 when I won 4 games last week? I picked 4, right? Because
you were 22-27. That's 100%. You were 22-27 last week.
Earlier, I thought you said, like, whenever you read it off, you said 23 and 27.
Hand up. I got it. We got it.
All right.
Hand up.
I'm just like, do I have to die? I'm going to go back into this whole thing.
Feel free. This document's been shared with you guys for a year and a half, and neither of you touch it. So that's totally all right. Totally all right with me.
Oh, wait, we have that information?
You literally all have access to this. Yes, 100%.
We just trust you, Tommy. I just want you to do it.
I'm trying, at least, okay? And then it's
do or do not.
Philly, Mason and Mitch on Philly while I'm taking Detroit. Mason and Mitch on Chicago while I'm taking Minnesota. Louisville Ravens are the 2 favorites in the solo game while Tommy bets it all on Trevor Lawrence. Indiana to cover 28.5 with Mitch and myself, while Mason has Wisconsin, has to pick them 7 times this year, remember? So
I know. I had to.
Good bet. And
amazing.
Then Packers, me and Mason rocking with them to cover. Mitch says they're going to win, but the Giants cover the 7 points. Those are our picks.
All right. A lot of like change up could happen this week. This is there's a lot of parity this week. This is going to be an interesting one.
Like I said, it's literally just one game in which we all agree that never happens. So
I was actually impressed with this last week that we all took the Eagles and ended up getting that.
We're not homers.
Yeah,
and
we all thought the Packers would win, but we did take the Eagles.
We want the Packers to win.
I know,
obviously. When we come back, it's time for Mason's Extra Points. He'll give us a little more insight into how Human Wednesday went. It is Thursday, so we're getting close to the weekend as well. And just our time to, pat ourselves on the back and tell each other how awesome we all are.
Yeah. Just a great show. What a great show we had.
It's been a great show.
Show is showing.
The Macy Crosby Show is radio's radioing, audio's audioing, YouTube is YouTubing.
Yes.
The Macy Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Oh man, what a great Thursday we had today, fellas. It's been a fast week with that Monday night game. It just feels like everything's flying by. I did have that basketball practice on Monday night for my 7 and 8 year old girls. Mitch, we didn't get to talk about that.
Oh man.
Any insights as we're gearing up for games? Our first game is December 6th, I believe.
Okay.
We have practice on Saturday again. I'm getting as many practices in as I can.
They need
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Yep.
They're so good. We worked a lot on defense. So after the first practice, I was like, all right, none of these girls have played organized basketball and they don't know, like they all just stood next to each other. And I'm like, okay, that is the basket. Whenever I say you're on defense, you stand between the person with the ball and that basket. Let's just start there. Just defend, don't let them score there. You coaching, your girls and that age, what's your biggest takeaway from coaching, young girls basketball?
So that was always a huge one, in between your girl and the basket, no matter what, but but then they'll take that too seriously. They'll take that too literally, and they'll literally be right up against them the whole time.
It is so funny. The literal takes of everything.
So a little bit of in between them, but also one eye on the ball and one eye on your person. Yeah. And then the big thing I would say after that is when the other team shoots, go get the ball.
Yeah.
Don't worry about where your girl at that age. Don't worry about boxing out. Don't worry about where your girl is. If there's a missed shot, go get the ball, because if they miss a shot, we can't let them get the ball back, because then they're going to have it under the basket. Everybody just go get the ball, then spread out, then figure out how to bring it up the court, but go get the ball.
That's where I have Christine. Christine she's going to be my ball hawk.
I'm
going to unleash her out there. Just go, sweetheart. Just go and crush it.
Yep. As it should be.
There's I will say I have a physical bunch of young girls. I mean,
you're already ahead of the
scrappy.
Game.
Yeah.
If they don't shy away from contact, you're already ahead of the game, because so many girls just want to watch.
Yeah.
And they want to play, but not. And it's the reason why volleyball has exploded the way it has, because it's very athletic without the physicality.
For sure.
And so for basketball, you're going to get hit. You're going to hit somebody else.
Yeah,
you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, we worked on obviously dribbling and shielding and some of those things. And then for me, it was hands up. We don't have to reach in and try to steal the ball every second.
Hands up is great at that.
Just get the hands up, move your feet, because I see these girls. I'm you're going to get called for fouls every time, because it's just as soon as somebody had the ball, they were all just jumping on top. I'm
it's hurting cats.
I'm I know I played football, but this is not football. I'm not teaching you to tackle over there. So it's going to be so much fun. I love coaching these little kids. They just and again, the girls are so different than even Nolan's 8th grade football team. 8th grade football guys, I literally had to get their attention all the time. It just felt like they were distracted all the time. These girls, again, like you said, are so literal.
Yes.
It's whatever you say, they're doing exactly that. So you better say the right thing. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And meanwhile, last night we had our girls basketball meeting for Whitefish Bay High School.
Nice.
Mason, besides me, obviously very famous in the community.
Yes.
What famous luminary, what dad was in the room last night, whose daughter?
Novak.
No, not Novak.
He doesn't have. Does he have girls? He doesn't have girls.
He does, but younger.
Okay.
No.
You know this.
Craig Counsell.
Oh.
Craig Counsell was and I was wearing my Pat Murphy Brewers.
Of course, yeah.
Because he had won the Manager of the Year, so I felt a little bad.
Did Craig ever do that? Did Craig ever win Manager of the
He
Year?
finished 4th this year. That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
There are 15 managers, so finishing 4th.
Yeah,
that's top quarter.
He's finished second a couple of times, right? He's never won it.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Oh, that's me wearing wearing my jersey, and
wearing Colorado.
Jordy Nelson suite whenever I go. Yeah, that's
real quick, did want to mention Marquette beat Little Rock last night, 89-49. Indiana beat UWM 101-70. So Indiana now rules the city of Milwaukee. They've beaten Marquette and UWM. So Indiana is now located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, they're not.
They own us.
They'll probably beat the Badgers this weekend, but they're not going to cover. So
yeah, they probably will. That's true. So yeah, I mean, listen, enjoy the 7 and 8 year olds because they are an absolute blast. Patriots and Jets have any? I mean, who knows with the Jets? They're so weird, but another bad.
They don't have any players anymore.
I know, kind of like last week, a bad Broncos Raiders game. I feel like tonight's like kind of a waste of.
If the weather's cold, let's see how long Aaron Glenn's pants are today.
Oh.
No, you think he sticks with them,
dude?
I mean,
just saying. Like,
does he go? Does he wear two vests?
He might wear shorts tonight.
Does he? He goes.
He could wear shorts.
He does a double vest.
Double vest with capri.
Amazing.
Yeah, and just like maybe like tall boots. I could see him tucking in the pants into Uggs. That's going to be the look. He's such a college cold girl.
He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Mason Crosby. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Sparky and Charlie are next. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Have a great rest of your day.